Hello again, Josh here, and I'm going to be assembling a JGbike Crankset from start to finish using only the tools that are provided and a torque wrench with a 5mm Allen head. So right here, got the box for the crankset, and I got a set of JGbike pedals, all in the original packaging as I got them. So going to move on to the crankset. This crankset comes with a chainring and all the tools that are necessary to put it together. You got, sorry, just taking it all out right now. So you got the Allen keys, you got a chainring tool, you got a bottom bracket, you got the left crank arm fixing nut, plastic, and nicely enough, whenever you get this, the crank spindle is actually protected by a rubber boot. So moving along, the crank, the bolts for fixing the chainring to the crank are already on the crank, so you first want to work on getting those off. Okay, bolts are off now, so next thing we want to do is use those same bolts to mount the chainring. So let's get to it. Alright, so now that we got the chainring installed, we're going to pretend like we're actually installing this onto a bike. So if you take a look at the provided bottom bracket, it's labeled right and left, and that's pretty self-explanatory. That's the size that you want to mount these bottom bracket cups onto your bike. And we'll pretend like we're putting on a non-boost setup, so we're going to have one of these provided spacers on the left side of the bottom bracket when installing. So now we've got the crank installed, the right side crank arm installed onto the bike, and we're going to want to install the left crank arm onto this. So press here, right here, but there's actually teeth on this, and then there's teeth on the left arm crank arm. And these teeth are positioned in a way that you can only mount it the way it's supposed to be on the bike. So I'll loosen up the bolts a little bit, looks like. So I loosen it up here and then line the teeth up left and right as they're supposed to. Put them on. I'll next want to get the left arm crank fixing bolt. Put that on. Use the larger of the two Allen wrenches to position this piece on. And then from there, got the two bolts, and we're going to want to snug these 12 to 15 Newton meters. So snug, 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 click, snug, 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 click. And you've got a mostly assembled bottom bracket, minus the, of course, hooking it up to the drivetrain with the chain and the pedals. So let's move on to the next portion of this, and that will be these pedals. So in order to match the blue chainring that's installed, got some blue pedals. I'm taking these out. They're labeled right and left, just like any other bike. The threading is reversed on, not sure which side, but you'll just want to make sure you install it appropriately. And in this case, that means that the right crank pedal gets threaded on clockwise and the left pedal gets threaded on counterclockwise. Nice. Okay. So let's go and install these up real quick. Luckily, the same Allen wrench that you used to fix the left crank arm fixing bolt also fits into the pedals to mount them. So you don't need to have any additional tools. Let's go ahead and start mounting these up. That's it. All we have left to do now is mount this crankset up to the drivetrain. Well, the rear end drivetrain, derailleur, whatnot. But pretty easy. And the fact that it's all included in this whole set, which, as I stated in a previous video, is all under $100, well under $100. It's really awesome. Alright, that's all I have for now. I'll provide another video where I'm actually showing this actually being mounted on a bike here soon. So stay tuned. And as previously stated, please feel free to suggest ideas, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.